Hello. Back by popular demand, with a grand total of one person asking me to make another video, I've come back and I'm doing another video where I show off a Doom level and how to play it. So this time I chose to do Deus Vult 2's final map, or final official map, map 23, called Hell's Vendetta. Now this is a pretty intense slaughter map. It's got about 2,800 enemies. You've got 3 wings, central wings of the map, where you need to get 3 keys. You then press a switch, and you have sort of a final big fight in the centre. Now, the DST record for this is about 20 minutes 50, I think. But the run, which is most impressive, is by Belial, who was one of the playtesters, which is 15 minutes 23. But he missed like a soul chain gun on a ledge. It's a really impressive demo. I recommend you seek it out and have a look how it can be done. So I think the optimal time is probably about 15 minutes, or even maybe lower. But it's just me casually playing through a single segment sort of thing, and this is what I was able to do. So let's have a look. Okay, so pick up all your guns here. You want to pick up your BFG and pick up the invisibility orb, and that's a switch on the ground which opens up a door full of chain gunners. So what you want to do here is you want to press round as far as you can. You want to go 3/4 of the way round, and there's a segment where you can pretty much find safe harbour because it's filled with imps that you can just massacre, and you carve some space for yourself. Now the reason you have the invisibility orb here is to stop the cyber demon from just murdering you basically and locking on. As you can see, he's firing wildly. So here's the safe spot here. So what you want to do is carve a little bit of space out for yourself, and we're going to attack the north wing first with the blue key, because that's the easiest. So right now we are sort of stuck toward the east, and we're heading back to the start now, because we start off in the south wing. So you push around this corner. This is quite difficult because the Mancubus can do a lot of damage, and you also have a lot of chain gunners who are just sort of spamming wildly, and it really hurts. So yep, moving along. There's Hitler. A lot of video game baddies on the wall, if you've noticed. I don't know. It's quite impressive sort of gothic architecture, but at the same time it's very juvenile and silly. Guy really likes Lord of the Rings and StarCraft. So, okay, here we are. Now we're pushing back round again. Yep, no real problem so far. It's going into the wing here. There's a spider mastermind on every corner, just in the way usually, is clearing them out. And you'll notice there's a lot of ammo, a lot of armours and health, they're all stacked on top of each other. That's just because here aggression is rewarded. You don't really need to be too cognizant of sort of your resources. You just want to stay alive. So this is the wing we're going into, this is the north wing. So I'm going to make sure I have full ammo. And it's important that I don't want anybody following me in here. Now, the encounter starts when you shoot that seal, and it's closed, that's good. So this is a timed encounter. As you see at the sort of front here, this is where enemies keep spawning in, and they're going to push you from that angle. And you've got about 1 minute 50 worth of them attacking you. So I'm counting in my head at that point, because after 1 minute 50 you have a bit of a surprise where it spawns a lot of nasty enemies all around you, and archviles. And on each pillar, to the left and right, you find you have an invulnerability orb. Very useful, but you don't want to use them yet. A lot of people sort of panic when they first play, and think, oh god, what do I do? Just get the invulnerability, but you're going to die if you do this. But we're locked in, and the attacks are all coming from one angle, so it's quite easy at this point, just sort of dodge left and right. The main targets you want to prioritise are actually lost souls, because if they fly in front of you when you get your BFG out, it's a pain. And also sometimes you see the Afwits, which are a new enemy in Deus Vult, which is this like flying barons of hell that do huge damage with homing rockets. You want to make sure they die quickly too, because otherwise you're going to have to be forced out of position, which lets them all come out the door. So I'm alright here because there's a megasphere directly behind that I was carefully not picking up. And even then, I mean, in terms of resources, I'm still actually fine because there's at least 2 mega armors and some health packs behind me, so when I do stupid things like that, it's fine. So about another 20 seconds here. It's not a big deal. Just taking it easy really. Got to make sure I keep stopping up on the rockets on the side. There comes a point, usually a lot sooner actually, where you just have mainly barons of hell pushing forward, and they can actually push out quite easily because they don't die. There's not anything for them to infight with, and they don't die to rocket splashes easily, so that's fine. So now I'm going to get one of the invuls, because I'm expecting enemies to start spawning in front of me. But in sort of classic form when you're recording a demo, I was off by about 2 or 3 seconds, as you saw there. But you've really at this point got to push in here. You've got to use the resources. You got the key, which is obviously behind everybody, just picked up. But you have plenty of ammo back here, and that's really what I wanted, because that allows me now to push back out, start killing the vials and the afrits, and pick up the next orb. So again, what you want to do here is just clean up. It's possible to now just to run straight to the next wing, but I wouldn't do that, because it's far too risky. Oh, and very important, don't pick up the invisibility orbs, because that makes this next section very difficult. So, yeah, just pushing out now. Here are a lot of the stragglers who we didn't kill at the initial encounter. There's going to be a lot of sort of clean-up moments sort of in between the major encounters. So press the switch, and this is the east wing. So this is the west wing, I should say. That's very embarrassing. This is the west wing, which has 6 cyber demons. With invisibility orb, you're done. That was pretty bad there. I got smacked by a rocket. It's quite difficult to keep all of them in mind as you dodge them. Now there comes a point here where I think, you know, I'm 40-40, I should probably back off, get the health. We're locked in at this point as well, it's worth mentioning. Just kill these guys. The advantage of being pressed so far back is that you can spam the projectile of the BFG off the wall and then hit them with the traces without exposing yourself. But the downside is there's a backboard that splash damage can hit you off. So got hit there through a corpse of his friend when the Cyber Demon died. You can't pass them, but rockets can pass through projectiles, so got nailed. And here's some cleanup now, because the next ring is arguably, I think, the hardest, so I want to make sure nothing follows me in there, because if something follows you into the east wing with the clerics, you're in trouble. Clerics are the enemies that look like they're from, I think they're from Hexen or Heretic, who you can see right now. They shoot fireballs, they're very irritating. They shoot imp fireballs in like a burst. You want to kill this Spider Mastermind, by the way, make sure he's out of the way. And they have really powerful melee, probably the most powerful melee out of all of the enemies, so you want to stay away from them. Now, sometimes enemies get stuck in the towers with lifts when on corners. I'm clearing this out in hopes for later that it'll save me some time, but it actually ends up not, so it's fine. But either way, it lures the enemies away from this door that I'm going to go through. So, fully stacked, everything I need. Red keys at the end. Don't want to touch that megasphere. At this point the door now closes, so I check behind me to make sure nothing's followed me. I don't think anything has. And this is another timed encounter. You've got to survive in here for 2 minutes 20. Which is easier said than done, because they keep spawning and advancing up to the lip of the staircase. And there's hundreds of them. It's very difficult. So you've just got to sort of dodge. It's a bit like a bullet hell. It's quite relaxing, actually. Want to move forward, hang back, etc. So the projectiles go over your head, just a circular motion. You don't want the guys at either wing to attack you. They're relatively harmless, you're just going to ignore them. But you've got to watch your rocket, so here I'm down to about 30. And I choose at this point to go stock up, because it's better to stock up when they're on the staircase than when they're closer, because if they're closer it allows them then to push out of this funnel, and when they start breaking out the funnel you're in trouble. And there's still quite a lot of time left here, I think. It's about another 90 seconds maybe, so I'm playing it very, very patiently. You want to take as little damage as possible as well, because the health pickups, there's a megasphere and there's mega armor, one in each corner. Again, if you go for those, you're letting them gain ground, which is not a good thing. This is actually a redesigned encounter from one of the other maps. I think it's Lord of the Rings inspired. I don't know. I don't really watch those films. But with that, you get it's imps and it's Hell Knights, which is not quite as threatening. So, just a matter of surviving here. Making quite good time, actually. You want to pick off stragglers as they get closer and not walk into them, because they sort of allow, if they get in your way and you start focusing on them, it allows others to creep forward faster. So you've really got to keep it nice and sort of level where they all are. That's what I'm doing here. I'm just saying if there's any ebbing too close, I go to the left side, then I sweep back to the right. So they're making good time. This is about the time when they break 3 and you're in a bit of trouble. This is why this is a very well designed encounter, I think. because just as it seems hopeless, the doors fling themselves open and you can run away. But quite well managed so far. So I get to the BFG here because I know the door's going to open, and there it is. Choose to go through this door, seeing the Afrit on the left that would have immediately killed me. And now it's a case of cleaning up. Want to kill everything on this level, so we can pick up the red key and start the final encounter. Cyber demons on the pillars need to go, because other enemies will be spawning on top of those. And also they're just, you don't want them sniping you. So here I'm just cleaning up. A lot of ammo still, not a problem. A lot of health. I think there's probably 2 more soul spheres hanging around. I need one of them to finish off the cleric wing on the east, so it's fine. Oh. It's fine. Just gonna hang in this corner. It's relatively safe to clear out of resources, which I am now, so just kill as many as possible. The major concern for me right now are the Afrits, because if you get hit in the face with a volley of their mancubus rockets or their homing projectiles, it's really not pleasant. So here I'm just running. Moving on to this next part here. I think this is a Star Trek wing, or Starcraft wing, whatever. So still cleaning up. Checking back, it looks like it's clear, but actually it's just because I've done a complete loop with these clerics and they've come on my flank. So just cleaning up as much as I can. And that's pretty much clear. Safe enough. So fully stack yourself for this, just in case, because it can go wrong. It's quite embarrassing. So now you just want to clear out each side, really. Quite an embarrassing aside. When I was trying to record a demo for this earlier, I got this far and I was like, oh, I'm doing really well, and I was actually a bit ahead of the time here. So I jumped off one of these sort of red spike things into the lava, and when you're in there's no way out. There is actually a suicide exit, I think, in one of them, so if you stand in a certain patch of lava and you go into 10 health, the level ends, which is a holdover, I think, from... You see it in the shareware version of Doom, in that level with the... the final level of the shareware version. You get teleported to that room full of demons, and then you get whittled down, and then you get the ending text. It's the same trigger. So, that's everything. It's all clear. So at this point, it's going to the room with the chain gunners in, which is either side of the south. I'm lost here, if you haven't noticed. So I've checked my mini-map, but you can't see in the demo. And here it is. Those guys on the ledges you want to watch out for, and you want to press this switch. Now this opens up the middle area and the final fight, which is actually not too bad. So the first thing you want to do is you want to just clear this, which is actually easy, and I make this look hard because I'm being an idiot. After about 12 minutes of play, sometimes you start making sloppy mistakes, especially when you know there's, 3 megaspheres in every single corner. So I get blasted a lot by vials, I get hit, punched in the face, it's fine. So now we're going to begin the final encounter, because to the best of my knowledge, everything is dead. So you want to press all 4 switches, and this is another timed encounter. Oops, still one left. Now, this is another timed encounter. This is a 2-minute 31. So you have 2 minutes to 30 before something rather nasty happens. There's a little trap, which really does take people off guard if they're not used to it. That statue at the end there, that's the exit. So if I really wanted to, I could just run through it now and end the level, but since I'm going to try and kill everything, it's not a really good idea. And there's 500 more monsters, which is pretty fun. And here you see, walls full of Hell Knights, Barons of Hell, Cyber Demons, but in each 4 corners with those, each corner you find yourself an invulnerability orb, and we're going to use 2 of those now to clear up this area. And really there's no preferred way of doing this, you just want to kill as much as possible. You don't want Cyber Demons around as a rule, they can be very irritating. But if you stay in the centre it's fine, because everything sort of finds its way over here eventually. You can kill the Pain Elementals, which aren't really a big deal when you have so much ammo. I mean, ammo is not a concern on this map for the most part, except for the timed segments. The North Wing and the East Wing, but here it's fine, so just go nuts. Go nuts. Shoot everything, you know, second invul. But at 2:30 something quite unpleasant happens, which takes people by surprise. So I'm waiting for that magic moment now, which I timed, I think it was 15 minutes into the map. So I've got another, I think it's 50 seconds right now, just guessing, of just shooting, spamming, mopping up. On each pillar, which the cyber demons are on there, you'll see now they have Mancubi. And you want to just keep killing them whenever you see them, because they respawn a few times. I think there's 2 or 3 for each pillar, who spawn in one after another. But that's all part of the cleanup. Very little left now. There's really no major risk anymore, unless you make a serious error. The hardest parts of the map are really the start, and the cleric corridor, and maybe the cyber demon wing. North wing's never a problem once you know the technique. So it's just a matter of not making stupid mistakes. So here we go, pick up the invul, because here's where the trigger happens. Now in each wing, which you cleared out, you will find that nasties will spawn. So wait for it. Yeah, you got your vials. So if you don't know about this, you know, you think why there's suddenly monsters streaming in, you can get overwhelmed and it can take extra time. So the first wing I always do is North Wing, and then I do East Wing with the clerics because they're very far back. They spawn right where the key is, so it takes them time to push forward. They don't get to revive much. So now it's just a matter of, there's probably about 5 more Archviles just hanging out. Gotta find the other invulnerability orb though, because one of them will be with the chain gunners, which is never pleasant. There's one there who I've just sort of avoided. And it's always the last place you look when you're not sort of completely aware if you do, and you have bad map awareness basically, so that's what you find. Just want to kill the Vals as soon as possible. Check it West Wing here, make sure nothing is trapped behind the corners or anything stupid, which can happen. And heading straight to the South Wing. Very little aware resources left here from where I held up a few times before. Pick up Berserk Pack, Force Switch. Make sure nothing's on the ledge. Pick up another Berserk for no real reason. Play gets a bit sloppier toward the end, but it's fine really. And yeah, that's about it. Now it's a case of just clearing up the mess. There's the one last Archvile who's been killed. Hopefully, if all's gone well, everything should be sort of toward the centre at this point. Nothing should be trapped on pillars, or nothing should be trapped in sort of the cleric going outside, clipping into the wall, not being able to find a door, bad pathfinding. But when there's so many corpses on the screen, it's really difficult. It's genuinely difficult to see things. So you just want to hang around in the middle and let things come to you. Sometimes you want to check where these floor switches were that opened up the wing doors, which I'll do in a moment, I think. Yeah, looking for those last 3. Yep, see there's one in there, stuck in the hole. Auto-aim didn't quite get the plan. Keep looking. There's 2 left, you know, it's difficult. See, this is what I wanted to avoid doing, but I honestly thought at this point there's something who got stuck back here, so I wanted to check one more time, and there was nothing. This is where a lot of time is wasted. I mean, you could do it so much faster if you didn't have this problem. And there's the last one. Walk into the statue. You're done. So when you know the routes, it's actually a relatively straightforward map. It's not too difficult. It's just a matter of knowing your spacing and not getting yourself stuck in corners where you've like used all the resources. You just want to keep moving basically, because the map gives you plenty. So yeah, that's about it. That was Hell's Vendetta, Deus Vult 2. I think that should be a new DSDA record. I might submit that demo file because I think I did it all correctly. So there you go. That's all for now. See you later.